anymore today. I just want to get this done before I like run into like things I need to do before this. Me. Alright, so hey guys, welcome to this video. I just wanted to make a quick video about like the auto attack canceling and how it works with every single role and every single character. Not every single character, but one character from every role. So auto attack canceling can be done with any character, but there are certain characters that can use it more than others, and you can do it in every role. So hunters, assassins, guardians, mages, and what is the last role? Warriors can all auto attack cancel. And so pretty much what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to do it first and then explain how I did it with a god from each role. So first I'm starting with Apollo. Apollo is really, if you want to play him competitively, Apollo requires a lot of auto attack canceling on most if not all of his abilities, especially his first and second. So pretty much I'm going to auto attack cancel all of Apollo's abilities, and then I'm going to run through and explain how I did it. So I'll just run through really quickly. Alright, so that's me auto attack canceling every single ability. Alright, so I won't be able to do it with my ult again for another 100 seconds, but that's not a big deal. So pretty much what you want to do, pretty much what an auto attack cancel is you using an ability in between auto attacks. So you notice here how my auto attacks are only coming out about, I'd say, I don't know, once every second. So, because I have that second of time to use any ability I want. So instead of doing this, instead of using the ability when my auto attack's coming up, why not use the ability in between? Because it saves time. So pretty much what you want to do, like if I'm fighting a Ra, if I go over to Ra here, yeah, because the Odins don't come out. So if I go over to Ra here and I'm going to start boxing Ra, and I want to start boxing him, I'm going to go over and auto attack him. I'm going to do that. And notice how I'm auto attack canceling. And notice how I use it. If I dash up to him and I auto attack Mez. Oh, okay, I didn't want to pull him. If I want to auto attack Mez right away, I can auto attack in Mez immediately. And he has to get off my back. I don't want to fight you anymore. Okay, so pretty much if I want to go up to Ra, I'm gonna auto attack and dash because I can dash in between my auto attacks. So I'm not losing any time in between auto attacks. So what I want to do next is if I'm close to Ra here, I'm going to auto attack then Mez, as you can see by how I explained it there. So that's the best explanation with Apollo. And because Apollo's majorly auto attack based, you can also do this with any. It's most common on hunters, but you can also do it. You can do it with any hunter, but you can also do it with other classes. So that's pretty much how it works on Apollo. Now, an important thing to take note with as Apollo, before I go on to the next role, is notice how I have my passive up. So, oh, okay, we're gonna get rid of that. All right. So I'm just gonna build up my passive here as much as I can. And make sure I just get my passive up. Where else can I build it? Okay, I'm just gonna wait for creeps. Alright. So this is the auto attack canceling is especially important early game. It's not super important in the late game, but it's mostly important in the early game. So now my passive's built, right? So now I'm auto attacking at 100% 100% faster than I normally would. So now if I'm gonna auto attack cancel here, I have a lot less time to get an ability in. So it's harder to do. You can still get it, but it's much harder. And most of the time, you don't really want to auto attack cancel in between Apollo's passive, because the point of the passive is to get 2 times the amount of auto attacks you can in the same amount of time. So if you're using an ability there in between that, it really doesn't make any sense. So that's how you auto attack cancel with Apollo. Now we're going to go ahead and switch over to Osiris. Where is he? Where is Osiris? Why am I... Okay, there he is. Jeez. Okay, so, I'm just gonna use the regular skin just so we don't have any confusion here. Alright. Now, Osiris is mainly Osiris and Bellona, usually the auto attack kind of warriors, and Robin as well, are usually the main ones who really care about auto attack canceling. I'm gonna get full cooldown here really quick, so let me just get these two. Alright. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna auto attack cancel all my abilities, and at least the way you're supposed to, and then I'll explain how I did it. Alright, so that was me auto attack canceling every single ability. So pretty much the reason why you want to do that is because Osiris's auto attack chain is 0.51, or in damage percentage, 0.51, 0.51, but the last two auto attacks are AoE. So if I'm going up to, what is this, speed buff? Is this speed buff? I don't know. Whatever buff this is. So if I'm going up to this buff, and I want to attack it, my last two auto attacks are going to hit all three camps, or all three characters here. So now, see, I've only got one here, so my AoE attacks are kind of useless. Because I'm still attacking this one creep, but I don't need the AoE from it, because I'm not hitting anything else. So if I want to use my auto attacks correctly here, that way I get the auto attacks that come out more quickly, plus the sickle damage as well. And so my AoE attacks completely disappear because I don't need them. And it's the same thing for every single one of Osiris' abilities, besides his ult, kind of, just because it takes a while to charge up, and usually you use that on a stun anyways. So if I'm on a single target, like let's say this Odin, if I'm boxing this Odin in solo lane, I'm not gonna use abilities like this. Because my auto attack chain is using AoE attacks, but I'm only on one Odin. I'm not on multiple Odins, so I don't need the AoE. The AoE is only used for really clearing creep waves. So if I don't, since I don't really need those AoE attacks, I'm just going to use an ability before the AoE attacks come out, like that. And you can also do it with what is that ability called? Spirit Flail, like that. And you can do it with the tether, like that. So if you do it on a target, you can do them over and over and over and over and over again. And usually if you're boxing someone like this, I'm gonna wait until my Spirit Flail comes off cooldown, or my tether. You can do it all in a row, like that. And those last two auto attacks become useless, because since the AoE auto attacks are useless, you don't need to use them, and therefore you can cancel your abilities, getting rid of those AoE auto attacks, and it gives you more damage in general. And surprisingly, a lot of professional players don't know how to do this, which is very, very funny, because if you want to become very competitive, you should know how to auto attack cancel on every god. The next god we're gonna do is that I'm gonna show you is Kali. Kali relies heavily on auto attacks, and almost every Kali I've seen in rank does not know how to cancel, and it really, really pains my heart to watch these high-level players play Kali without canceling correctly.
Full speed ahead.
So Kali doesn't rely too much on auto attack cancels, but they do help a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Now, normally in this case, I wouldn't have full cooldown. Normally you don't build any cooldown on Kali. But I'm going to build full cooldown here. Wrong one. I'm going to build full cooldown just to prove a point here. Now, you really only auto attack cancel with your second and third ability, so that's all I'm really going to show it with, because auto attack canceling with your jump or your ultimate is really kind of useless. Not the ultimate per se, but not really. You don't really cancel with the jump. So pretty much, if I'm gonna auto attack cancel with every ability anyways, just to show you how it looks. So the ult you can't really auto attack cancel with. But pretty much with the other abilities, that's how you auto attack cancel first of all. So now I'm gonna show you on the Odin. I'm actually gonna get Fatalis as well, because it's not super hard to demonstrate without Fatalis, but I'm just gonna get it because Fatalis is kind of core. So pretty much if I'm auto attacking this Odin, so that's how I'd auto attack cancel on him. And pretty much the reason is because Kali's auto attack progression is full damage, half damage, half damage. So it's full, half, half, full. as you can tell. So you want that full damage on every auto attack, because this is obviously half damage, and you want the full damage rather than half. So if you want the full damage every time, you're gonna auto attack Sun, auto attack Lash, and you get instead of doing something like once the abilities come cooldown, instead of doing something what I see most people do, which is just this. You're losing an auto attack. You're losing 90 damage in this case. And I'm not even building correctly. Like, you're losing, since you're building auto attack damage, you're losing probably a good 150 to 200 damage just because you're not auto attack or canceling correctly. So pretty much what you want to do is if you're chasing someone and they get out of your range, you want to use the first one right here. And it's really not that hard because if you're holding down your mouse, it'll come off right away. And you'll notice actually the when I use my instance, my auto attacks have more damage. It's because it gives physical power buff. So that's interesting if you didn't know that. So if I'm auto attacking this guy, I just to demonstrate it one more time. I want full damage, auto attack, and you can do this with Thor too. And it's actually more common with Thor because Kali's not really played as much as Thor. But Thor, a lot of people don't know how to auto attack cancel with him either. But that's pretty much how you do it with Kali, and Kali is really dependent on this. Just to demonstrate it one more time. Alright, so now we're going to switch over. I'll just do a mage next, I guess. I didn't really have a mage in mind. I guess we can just pick a random one. I don't think it really matters which one. I'll do it with Janice because I know how to do it with Janice and I'm used to doing it. Now I'm just going to show that auto attack canceling can be done with mages. You don't usually do it because in this case, auto attack canceling really slows you down, and since mages don't use auto attacks for damage early, there's really no point in trying to get an extra like 45 damage, which is what their auto attack is early game. So usually you don't auto attack cancel with mages, but I'm just gonna show that it can be done. And I just put the wrong item. Okay. And, oh, what's that? No. It's funny they don't have breastplate in the recommended. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna auto attack cancel with every ability, and then I'll explain like why you'd want to do it. Or I guess there's really no reason why you'd want to do it, but I'll just go ahead and do this really quick. Alright. So that's me auto attack canceling with every ability. Now there's really no point in doing it because against this Odin at level 5, my auto attacks are doing 43 damage, and he has 0 protections. Granted, I don't have any penetration, but I do have Chronos Pennant. And by this point, I probably have Chronos Pennant and Boots. Or maybe not even, or maybe Doomorb and like either Boots 2 or just like Boots 3 and the tier 1 of Doomorb by this point. So my auto attacks regardless are doing only 43 damage. So usually you only auto attack on buff camps, which is what I do. If you're in lane and boxing someone, there's really no point in auto attack canceling because it just slows you down, and there's really no reason to try and get the extra damage in. Actually, I'm gonna go to a Harpy.
The way open.
Because it's easier to be shown on Harpies than like actual webs like that. Wait, do they not have a Harpy really? They don't have like a experience camp? Wow. Okay. I guess I could do it on the wave then. So once this wave spawns, you can do it on the wave just because you're not really worried. Since you're already auto attacking the wave, you're not really worried about being slowed down because auto attacks do slow your movement. And this is one not a bad thing about auto attacks canceling, but they do slow down your movement. So that's why you normally wouldn't use it in a fight. So if I'm gonna auto attack cancel this wave like that, that's how I do it. So it lets me get an extra auto attack in while I'm clearing the wave. So it's just kind of a good habit to get into. It does take a little bit of practice, but if you practice it enough and know how to do it, it'll just come naturally with playing the game. Because like whenever I play Janice, I just naturally auto attack cancel my unstable vortex. Like if it's on a camp or if it's on a wave, I just naturally cancel it every time. It's just become like a habit to me. So that's pretty much, that's with Janice. It's pretty much, you can do it with every mage, you can do it with Poseidon. It's usually used with clearing waves, but you don't really do it as much with mages because mage auto attacks don't usually do a lot of damage. Alright, so then we're going to finish off with the Guardian, and I actually don't... you know, I'll do it with Ares. Just because Ares... yeah, I think that's probably best. I'm just going to do it with Ares. And just because Ares really, really uses auto attacks, especially early game, to get max damage off. Alright. Now the goal with Ares is that since if you hit a chain, obviously you get another chain, max of 3.
No mercy.
So you can really, really auto attack cancel well with these. And use max time. Get the max time and max damage.
Minions have spawned.
By doing this, I'm just going to do the same thing. Alright. So I'm not really going to do it with my ult because auto attack canceling with your ult is kind of pointless. I'm just going to hit level 5 here. Alright. So now if I'm on this Odin, so the I'll auto attack cancel every ability really quick just to show you that it can be done with a Guardian. You really don't do them with Guardians because Guardians auto attacks are even less than mages, but I'm just going to show you that it can be done. Alright, so that was the auto attack cancel with every ability on Ares. Now, there's really no point in doing it with your, at least with the ult. It's kind of, you can do it with the first 3 abilities, but you usually don't, especially if you don't have the distance, because Ares Chain is a pretty far distance here, as you can tell. This would be max distance right there. So, Ares Chains are, you can be pretty far away, and in that case you're not in range to auto attack, so auto attack cancels aren't usually used on Ares, but I'm just going to show how to do it just in case. Especially with chains. This is one thing with chains, you really want to wait to get max damage on your chains. So you don't want to throw all 3 out right away, because then you're not getting max damage, because now the tick's only lasting this long. And you could get the max amount of ticks with each chain. So now instead of throwing all 3 out at once, what you want to do is, each chain I think lasts, yeah, so you get 2 seconds to throw out the next chain. So if you throw on it, you count to about 2, and then throw the next chain. And then throw the next chain. You want to wait the full 2 seconds because that gives you the max damage. Because the chains are ticking in between. So pretty much if you're close to someone and you're chaining them, you can auto attack in between those to get even more damage. Like that. And that gives you max damage. I think that was probably about, I'd say a good 250, 300 damage. And this is on an Odin. It might have even been more than that. I wasn't counting 100%. But you can also do it. You can cancel with. I didn't really get the cancel off there. But you kind of see how when I'm demonstrating them, you can see kind of what I'm doing. So I'm throwing out a chain, throwing out an auto attack, throwing out an ability, throwing out a chain. So like that. So you pretty much want to use your ability right after you throw an auto attack. So like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's pretty much your main goal. You just want to throw out an ability right after you use an auto attack, especially because Ares has a attack chain here too. But usually when you're doing it with Ares, you do want this last hit that's 1.25 damage, or times 1.25 damage, because it gives you more. But in this case, if you're doing it on if you want to do it in this case, you still can do it. You don't really do it as much. You just want to do it like here, like that. That would be technically an auto attack cancel, just so you can get the max damage out of chains. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. Just auto attack canceling like that. What if these pulls them out? It does pull them out. Alright, well they don't take any damage. But yeah.